Hello, everybody, and this is the first session of the Butterfly Effect Telesummit. And with me today is Kylee Ellis, the marketing queen.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Kylee. How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks.
That's good. Kylee, I'll just ask you a few questions so our attendees can just get a feel for who you are. And then you're going to give us a really, really awesome
Transformation of
sorts, yes.
If it's okay, I'll give you two.
Oh, wow, that's so cool. That's just typical Kylee. She's always on top of things. Okay, Kylee, who are you? Who is Kylee?
Good question. Well, they call me the publishing and marketing queen, but that's really just a title. What I do is I like to say I help coaches coach coaches. And I know that sounds kind of wordy, but there's a few levels there. I work with coaches to basically automate their marketing. And the reason I help them to do this is if they automate their marketing, they can reach more people that they're in turn trying to coach. Now, therefore, I technically sell business to business, but even if they're selling business to consumer, these consumers, they're still coaching on whatever they're educating on, whatever they're the expert in. So I actually help coaches coach others to in turn coach others on how to do whatever it is they do. So indirectly, theme of this thing, the butterfly effect, is brilliant because I like to see it as like I'm teaching other butterflies to fly so that they can go out there and teach other butterflies in turn to also fly.
Oh, that sounds really, really cool, Kylee. Tell me, what kind of systems do you use?
Great question. I use a range of different systems, but the primary one I use for automation is actually called Business Catalyst. And most people go, "Ooh, what's Business Catalyst? I haven't heard of that." And to a degree, whether you've heard of it or not, even if whether you know how to use it or not, doesn't really matter. What matters is the expertise I've had on it. See, I just use that platform because it's just a platform I picked to use, mostly because I've been using it for about 10 years now and I can make it do just about anything. But what I've done on that platform, the systems I built, my own systems on top of that technology, it can do things like, for example, fully automate all your sales, marketing, and fulfillment funnels in approximately 1 hour. So it's pretty cool stuff.
Sure, that sounds really, really exciting stuff. What about what makes you different, Kylee, besides what you read?
What makes me different? Well, we're all very different in a range of different ways, and I could go through and list all my different characteristics, as could anyone else. But I think the key difference with what I do is that I get results. Like, so many people talk about what they want to do, and they never take action on it. And this, indirectly, it crushes my soul watching this happen time and time again. Other people start doing things and never finish, and that's just as bad. And then there's the people, and there's far and few actually worldwide, who actually take action, take constant action, and get constant results. Now, I am one of those people, so that makes me stand out with the fair few. But the problem is everyone wants to be one of those people. So my point of difference is not that I am one of those people, but it's that I help people, whichever classification they're in, become one of those people. So if they can't start something, I get them started. If they can't finish something, I get them finished, and I actually empower them to become the kind of person who continuously starts and finishes their own end. So I think that's the power of what makes me different.
That's very, very powerful. So give us an example of what, I mean, if I come to you today and say, Kylee, I've got this book that I've been trying to write for 10 years, and I'm just I can't write it. I don't know what to do about it, and I'm floundering. I don't know what to do. How am I going to make money in my business? What am I supposed to do? Please help me.
Yeah, I hear that a lot. I will do a range of different things with you, but I'll summarize them in what I refer to as my E's. And that is, you've got a couple of action steps you need to take immediately. Firstly, we need to get your book off the ground. Secondly, we need to get it marketed. If we were smart, we'd actually switch the order and market it before we even teach you how to write it. And a lot of this stuff I'm actually going to share with you in the transformation stage, so I won't say too much about it now. But what I do in each of those steps, what I will say, my E's I refer to them to, and that is that I show you every part of the process you need to do. So we'd map up a plan. Where are you now? Where do you want to be? And what's the steps in between? And for each of those steps, I'll show you the easiest, most efficient, most economical, and most effective ways of doing each of those things. And that's really, really important because there's many different ways to do just about any task on this planet. But who wants to do things the slow, hard, expensive way that doesn't get you the results you want? So that's where I need to take something like that and go, okay, you've just said you want to publish a book, but you don't know where to start. People would naturally start with writing. I actually say don't start with writing because, as I said, we should be doing the marketing first. So if you're not marketing that book, if you don't already have money for that book, which means you're getting paid to do your market research, you haven't proved your market wants to buy it. So if you're not already getting paid, why the hell are you writing something no one wants to buy? Then we work on how to write it in a way that they want to buy it. Get it? It's kind of reversing the traditional process.
I love that because a lot of us go out, I just want to write this book, I'm so excited. And then when we have to, then we can't sell it. So that makes a lot of sense.
That's the biggest problem.
Okay, cool. Kylee, tell me why would someone come to you? So you told us why you're different, but why would someone come to me? I mean, for me, you've already sold me. Can we make an appointment? Let's sort this out. And how long will you be able to help me out with this book story?
Yep, good question. Well, look, people come to me for a range of reasons. It used to be I want to get a book out of me. And I do so much more than that now. I help you get the book out of you, and I'm even going to show you how to do that in the transformational area because I really think that's an essential part of what we're talking about here. But even though it's an essential part, it's actually a very small part in the much bigger marketing picture. See, you must publish a book these days. It profiles you as the expert in your field. It's the new and improved business card. So if you're not publishing a book, you're a step behind your competition because they already are. But here's the thing. Even if you do it right now, you're still a step behind them because they've already done it. So what you actually need to do is not only publish a book, but you need to do it in a way that your book stands out from all the rest. And that's where a whole lot of other things come into play. So when people come to me, they don't always come to me wanting to publish a book. They might have published a book in the past and they want to bring it back into life. They might be thinking about publishing a book now. They might not have even put pen to paper yet. But what they know is that they want to successfully market that book. And more so, what they know is they want to leverage the content in that book to monetize it. And mostly they know what they want to achieve from that book. Because see, a book, it won't make you $1 million. But having a book and what you use that platform to reach, that can easily make you a 6-figure, 7-figure income with your eyes closed. So a lot of people actually come to me and they say, look, online courses are the new hot thing. I want to leverage my book into my online course. Now, they might be saying that because they've already got a book. They might be saying that for a book that doesn't exist yet. It doesn't matter. What they're clear on is that they want to leverage that book into an online course. And the reason for that is the average book, let's say, sells for $20. I like to teach an add a naught strategy. And I'll talk more about this later as well because that was also part of the transformation I want to share with you. But let's just look at a base level now. If you add a naught to $20 and make it $200, someone will easily pay $200 for the exact same content in course format because now they're not reading about how to do things, the theory, or reading about you and getting to know you on a words-based level. There's no picture, there's no interaction, there's nothing like that. They're seeing you. They're seeing the real you, kind of like what you're watching here today. They're building a relationship with you through video format. And in the video, you're showing the practical. You're not just talking about the theory in the book of how to do something, but you're actually showing them how to do it. They can pause the video, go away, take action, come back. And that is easily worth another book.
I agree. That is very, very exciting stuff. Okay, so you've spoken about all these things. I think it's time for you to show us all these transformations because I'm very keen to see what you have to say.
I knew you were going to come to that. And as I said, I do want to share too. So if I go slightly over time in the transformation part, I apologize. But let's get stuck into it, as you said, because there is 2 key things I want to show you. Okay. And the reason I want to show you 2 is, as I said, most people go, I want to do the book. So I'm going to show you my ease, the easiest, most efficient, most economical, and most effective way to get your book out of you right now in a matter of minutes. But as I said, just because that's what you want, it's not what you need. What you need is to market this book, to leverage it into a course, to market this course, to get all your marketing fully automated. So you're basically getting paid to market your business instead of paying to do so. You're getting paid to build your profile. This is a passive income, and what you sell on top of that, which for most people I work with is speaking or coaching or something like that, that's easy because you're literally rocking up for pre-booked, prepaid coaching appointments because you've got the other things down pat. So why don't we start with the book, because that's where people like to start, and then I'll move you into the coaching secrets behind.
That sounds very, very exciting. I'm waiting.
Okay, cool. Well, how would you like to do this, Karina? I can either give you a practical example right now, which you can play along with me and do, or I can talk about it in theory so that people can pause the recording when they're watching it back and do each step. What's better for you? Do you want to demonstrate live, or would you want me just to talk through it?
I think demonstrate live, it's exciting stuff.
Okay.
Let's do some.
If we're doing it live, I need you to get a pen and paper out.
Oh.
Got something in front of you? Excellent. She was prepared. Brilliant. Okay, Karina, here goes. I'm putting you on the spot. I want you to write at the top of that bit of paper your field of expertise. So this is the area you're working in now, but this is also going to be the subject matter of your book. So think about that book you're about to write. Write the subject matter at the top of that bit of paper and underline it. And for those of you watching this, I want you to do the exact same thing at your home or office or wherever you are when you're viewing this. And for the sake of this exercise, tell everyone what you wrote.
Okay, so I transmute fear. I change fear so that people can leverage on it and move on. Find the source of the fear and move on from there. So
Brilliant.
That's what I do.
So the essence of Karina's book is that she's going to help people overcome their fears. That's awesome. Now, what I want you to do, and as I said, I'm talking to Karina now, but when I'm saying you, I mean you at home, office, whatever, watching this. What I want you to do is write a list of bullet points under that heading. Before you start, though, there's two very important bullet points I want to draw your attention to, and I want you to write them first. The first thing I want you to do to get these bullet points, because you don't even know where they're coming from yet, I want you to think about you're having a conversation with someone about that topic you wrote down. So the topic's your field of expertise. It's the subject matter of your book. We're going to leverage it into a course. It's the subject matter of your course as well. But imagine now it's a conversation. You're talking to someone who knows absolutely nothing about this topic. They've never spoken to you before. They've never spoken to anyone about this topic before. They're a complete novice. What is the first and most important thing you need to tell them about that topic? I want you to write that down as the first bullet point. And I want you to put an S next to that for start. And then, and stop me if I'm going too fast, Karina, I want you to do the reverse.
Okay.
I want you to write another bullet point, but I want you to jump all the way to the end of that conversation. Imagine that this is the last time you will ever speak to this person again. They may never speak to anyone about this topic for the whole rest of their life. What's the most important thing you need to end the conversation with? I want you to write down that bullet point. And I want you to put an E next to that for end. So we've got a start and an end of the conversation. Now, am I putting you on the spot if I ask you those?
You sure are putting me on the spot. I didn't know what I was getting myself into doing this.
That's quite all right. For those of you who are doing this at home, I'm going to hold you accountable. For Karina, I'm just going to demonstrate because I've put her on the spot. I don't want to be too cruel here. But I want you guys, if you're watching this recording, to pause it right now if you have not got your S and your end. Because if you don't know where you're going to start and end the conversation, you're hardly going to know where to go in the middle. Once you've got those steps, what I want you to do with the rest of the bullet points on that page, and it'll be a different number for everyone. This is purely like a brain dump exercise. I want you to write down absolutely everything that comes to mind. So that conversation, you know how you're starting it, you know how you're ending it, but what's happening in between? Absolutely everything you need to tell this person. I want you to do a quick brain dump. And I say quick because I say I've asked for bullet points. These aren't long sentences or paragraphs or anything like that. It's just bullet points. For example, if you were talking about the alphabet, you were starting with A and ending with Z, you would know you'd have 24 bullet points in the middle and you'd know simply what they are. Now, your list is probably going to be a lot shorter than that, but that's an example. I want you to jot down absolutely everything you can think of. And don't worry if, for example, you're not very good at your alphabet and you miss out G and Y or something like that. I'm going to show you ways to check you don't miss any steps on your list, but this is just a brain dump. So right now, this would be the time you would pause what you're watching, complete that exercise, and when you think you've got every bullet point there, I want you to resume the recording. I'm hoping you guys did what I just said. So now that you've resumed, and yes, I am assuming you guys are doing what I said or this won't work for you, I want you to look at the list you just wrote. You've got a start, you've got an end. You mapped that out at the start. But what we're looking for now is the flow. How do we get from that S to that E? How do we get from the start of the conversation to the end? We're looking for the logical flow. So I want you to put a 1 next to the one you put start, because obviously you're going to start with number 1. Then I want you to look for the next step. Wherever you'd logically go, put a 2 next to that. Wherever you'd logically go from that, put a 3 next to that, and so on and so forth until you get to the end of your list. And wherever you put that E for end, you're going to put the next number there. Now, when you complete this process, as in when you put that number next to the E, you'll find one of 3 things will happen. either you will complete this process quickly and easily, you'll get to the end of your list and it'll all be numbered. Fantastic. Whatever that last number is, that's how many chapters are going to be in your book. And you actually know the topics. In fact, congratulations, you just wrote your table of contents in a matter of seconds. Not only that, but you planned your whole book out, because now you can literally go away, sit down and write and go, what am I writing today? This chapter on this topic. But wait, some of you won't get there as quickly and easily. Some of you will have one of two stumbling blocks along the way. What may happen is that you'll get to the end quickly and easily, but even though you've numbered that E, there'll be items on your list that you haven't numbered. If that happens, I just want you to cross them out. That means they went off on a tangent, they're not relevant for this book, and you don't want to go off on a tangent in your book. You want to keep in flow and you want to stick with your subject matter. But what may happen is that you don't get to the end quickly and easily. You might get partway through your list and you don't know when to go next. If that happens, that's okay. All that means is that you missed a step in your brain dump, which is quite normal. We're only human. So all I want you to do if that happens is write down the next logical step, give it a number, and then go back to your list so you can complete the flow. And if this happens more than once, don't worry about it. But at the end of the day, at the end of the task, and as I said, it should only take you a couple of minutes. So slow people can take you up to 10, 15 minutes. Fast people, hey, sometimes you're done in a minute. It depends on whether you're a quick, slow mover or you're somewhere in the middle. But my point is I'm going to give you guys between 1 minute and 15 minutes to do this, either live or when you pause the recording. And hey guys, that's transformation number 1. Actually, I'm not quite finished. That's the start of transformation number 1, because you guys have just created your table of contents. Now, I said I'm not finished because you just created the table of contents for your book. But I also said that the smart people, the ones that want to really go somewhere, know they're not going to make $1 million with the book. They want to leverage it into the course. They want to get that extra dollar sale value, naught at the end of their sale value. They want to use these things to create a passive income so they're getting paid to both build their profile and market their business. So they don't just want a book. And they go to me, oh, Kylee, that's great. That transformation was amazing. I know how to get my book out of me, but what about the course and everything else? This is sounding scary and daunting, and how do I do these things? Well, here's my extra secret that takes that transformation from I hope what you guys thought was pretty good to pretty awesome. You can repeat the process. Take that first step. That's called, for the sake of this exercise, chapter 1. Imagine you're moving across to the course. If you've got, let's say, 12 steps on your list when you finish, that's 12 chapters in your book. What does that mean? That's 12 modules in your course. You've indirectly just written the table of contents of your course in a matter of seconds. But of course, for the course, you're going to want a little bit more detail. What happens in those chapters? Well, as I said, we start the process again. Take chapter 1, which is now module 1, underline that and make that the heading. Where would you naturally start that conversation? Where would you naturally end it? And what's the logical flow in between? Now, you probably won't get 12 points this time. Average course has about 3 steps, but you might have 5 or 7 if it's quite a long process. You might only have 1 if it's a really simple process. But however many sub-steps you have there under that first heading, you don't only just know what the module's about, you don't only know how many modules are in your course, but now you know the topics of every single video. Because of course you can't do an online course without videos. So now you've got your video component, and yes, you would repeat that however many times, but now you've planned your course out completely. All you need to do is go and film each of those videos and your course content is also created. But the secret is if you do this before you've even written your book, you can move those same steps across and now you have the subheadings for your chapter. So all you really need to do is write a couple of paragraphs underneath and you're done. This is really simple stuff when you know the cheats I'm sharing with you. And here's one more tip for you. I'm going to top that off. Courses don't just have videos. They have downloadable resources. A downloadable resource being something that someone needs to apply what you've just shared with them in the video. There's 2 kinds of resources. They're either ones I would refer to as practical, meaning if you've shown them how to practically do something in the video and you've used some kind of resource like a template you created or something like that, you need to give them that template. You can't sell them a video showing them how to do something and then not give them the resources they need to do that. So if that template has a really high value, for example, let's say you're selling your course for $200, but that template costs $2,000. There's not too much you can do about that. You've sold it for $200. You're going to have to give them that template. But here's the thing. I bet you it didn't cost you $2,000. I bet you that's just what you sell it for. So if you're getting a $2,000 template as just one of the free bonuses, can you see how people are quickly and easily willing to pay $200 for the course? So you give them all those free resources that they need to apply what you've shared with them. And the second kind is checklist. Sometimes there's not a template. Sometimes they don't need anything other than to remember all the steps. In that case, I suggest you watch your video back once you've recorded it, and write a checklist of all the steps you mentioned and create that as the free resource. So you can actually go right now, even though you haven't done any of this yet, you can go right now through the course table of contents and put a dash next to any of those videos that need resources and write what they are. And now you've not only planned out the whole course, now you've not only planned out every video, but you've planned out every resource, which means now you're ready to sell something that doesn't exist yet. Was that helpful for transformation number 1?
Sure, I love that, Kylie. I think I'm going to have to put myself on the spot and see how well I do with this one. And with everybody else out there, if you go to, we've got our secret Facebook group, which you're obviously a member of now. You'll be able to download everything. You'll be able to download Kylie's awesome free gifts. You'll also be able to chat to Kylie. You'll be in there some points, Kylie, won't you, for extra questions?
Oh, most definitely. I always check into social media regularly.
And Kylie, you also have something else to offer, don't you?
I do.
Courses and
I do a range of different things. But before I cut into that, can I share the second transformation?
Oh, yes, of course. I'm looking so forward to that.
Don't worry, it's shorter. The first one is important. You need all those steps, obviously. And I know I spent a little bit of time there, but I stretched out. I actually gave you guys more than I was going to because I felt that's what you guys needed to hear today. But there is one other step. I've talked about leveraging the book into the course. I've talked about adding a note, but let's take that a step further. Because see, if you're a coach, if you're publishing something or launching something in order to profile you as the expert in your field, in order to use it as the new and improved business card, in order to basically fully automate your marketing, create a passive income so that you basically rock up to pre-booked, prepaid coaching appointments, you need to get people to that stage. You need to take them through a funnel. And they're expecting, as they go through a funnel, to pay more as items along the way. As you would be well aware, you're expecting to charge more along the way. But here's how you need to work out what to charge. In fact, here's how you need to work out what to sell. This is a massive transformation, and people don't normally get this. Don't work out what you're worth per se. Don't work out your hourly rate per se. Work out how much it is you want to make. Each day, I want to bring in this much passive income. Now, you could start small. You could say you're happy with $500 a day. You could start big and say, no, I want $2,000 a day. You can pick the number. But let's, for the sake of math, let's pick something simple. I'm going to pick $800 a day. And the reason I'm going to pick that is there's 8 hours in a day. So I'm going to say you decided you charge $100 an hour. And if you were working an 8-hour day, you'd make $800. So you want to make $800 a day. You want to work, you previously made $800 a day. You previously worked because you don't want to work these hours, do you? Let's say a 5-day week. So let's count the weekends out. So $800 a day means you're going to make $4,000 a week. Most people are pretty happy with that as a passive income, as a starting point. So let's look there. So what do you need to do that? Well, if we're selling the $20 book, and here's the power of this transformation. We're selling the $20 book. In order to make $800 a day, how many copies do we need to sell? 40. Sounds scary, but bear with me. I can show you techniques to sell 40 books a day. But what if you don't? That's okay. You can sell more the next day to catch up. What if you don't? If that's too scary, let's go up a step. Is it a whole lot easier to sell a $200 course? If you need 40 books a day, you only need to sell 4 courses a day. That's surely easier. That's only 1 every 2 hours. It's fully automated. You've got great techniques going on of lead gen and things like that. That's got to be easy enough to do. Maybe that's still scary to you. Let's go up a naught again. And I've picked a bad number for this example, but you'll like what I'm going. If we go up a naught again, we can't sell 4. When we add a naught, it's actually 0.4. So if you were going to sell something for $2,000 instead of 200, adding the naught, you only need to sell 0.4 of them a day. In other words, let's look at the weekly amount here. I said $4,000 a week. You only have to sell 2 a week. That's 1 every 2.5 days. That's a whole lot easier. But it's a larger value to sell. But what would you be selling for $2,000? Probably your coaching services. Now, I don't know anyone who coaches at $2,000 an hour. So you're probably not selling 1 session. You're selling a package. But you put that package together, you fully automate the marketing of that as well. And let's say you go through the whole week and you don't sell 2. Or you go through the whole week and you don't sell 4 times 5, so 20 of your courses. Or you don't sell 40 times 5, 200 copies of your book. The add and naught works on several levels. Not only can you split across the things you're selling, but you can split across how many. If you only sell one lot of your coaching session that week, don't go, oh, gee, I've had a bad week. My target was $4,000 and I only made $2,000. Hold on. How many copies of your course did you sell? How many copies of your book did you sell? It's a compound thing. The more offerings you have, it's not the more pressure on you, it's the less pressure, because people can buy at different points, different people at different times, and it's a whole lot easier to reach your targets. I personally have a target of $250,000, and I have that because $1 million sounds scary. So I focus on $250,000, much less daunting. Now, if I have a $250,000 goal per annum for my books, and I have a $250,000 goal per annum for my courses, and I actually also run live workshops. So if I have a $250,000 per annum goal for my workshops, and then for my coaching, $750,000 is how much? And I get there with my eyes closed. And if I oversell in one or undersell in another, it doesn't matter. In fact, if I don't meet my target one year, it doesn't matter, because I'll excel it the next year. All that matters is you have that goal and you focus on it and you keep yourself accountable to it. I hope that was a valuable second transformation.
Sure, that was a very, very good second transformation. Thank you. It's because it is very daunting to say, oh, I've got to sell 100 copies of this to make money. It makes a lot of sense. Thank you, Kylee. So now we're putting everyone else on the spot. I wonder how many people are going to run with this transformation. And remember that if you run with it and you see results, we are offering daily prizes. And Kylee is also offering prizes of her course as well. So that's very, very cool. You need to go to our Facebook page and check all those things out. What else are you offering, Kylee?
No, good point. Well, for this summit we're on at the moment, I'm giving 2 things away. The first one is absolutely everyone who registered, you will get access to a brand new webinar of mine. It is the best of my best content. So the stuff I couldn't fit into this short session, go away, click the link, watch that. You will be blown away. And if you have any remaining questions after you've absorbed all of that information, feel free to get back to me. The other thing is I'm actually giving a gift away. I talked you through the process of the book to the course. I mentioned I had a live retreat as well and that I do coaching services. I'm actually giving you access to my next level. So not my first level. I'm not going to say here's a book I'm giving away. I'm actually giving away the course. We already told you that's an add and naught value, so that's invaluable. But it means you're not just getting the theory, you're getting the practical. You get to watch the videos, pause and apply straight away. And I hope I've already shared with you enough today to know that my videos are pretty good. You pause and apply straight away. You do get actions. But here's the thing. I'm giving this away to one lucky viewer, attendee, whatever you guys want to call yourself. But it's invaluable because what do you think my course is on? It's not a course on how to publish a book or even necessarily on how to automate your marketing, even though it is. It's a course teaching you how to use the published book, how to use it leveraged into a course, how to automate the marketing of both, and basically do exactly what I'm sharing with you. In other words, I've created a course that automatically runs, that teaches you how to create a course that automatically runs. It is pretty powerful stuff, and one of you is going to win that.
Sure, that's very, very exciting. Do you have anything that you will look at to actually give? Is there anything in particular that you will look at to give this away, Kylee?
Ah, you mean I've got to challenge them? Okay,
yeah.
Here we go. The winner will be the person who can answer this question in 25 words or less. That's what they always say, isn't it? 25 words or less. You need to tell me why your subject matter, when run through this course, will change the world, will allow you to coach other coaches, will allow you to touch other butterflies and make a difference out there. And here's the sad bit, you've got to tell me why it will do it better than anyone else. So even though I want everyone to do that, you are going to have to compete on this, guys. So the answer that tells me how theirs will transform the world the best, you guys get the course.
Sure, I love that one. So go off, there you go off to the Facebook group and just comment, show us what you can do. And Kylee will be there as well if you need to ask questions. And yes, you're going to want this course. It's a very, very cool course. I know because I'm doing it myself. It's awesome. Thank you, Kylee. Are there any last things you'd like to offer our attendees? Any last advice or quote or anything like that?
my quote, I'm going to steal it from Nike. My quote is just do it. As you know, I'm not a procrastinator. I'm all about automating your marketing so you've got more time to go out and do other things that you want to do. And I end up automating them too and finding a new thing to do. Like, I'm all about taking action, and then when something works, automating it so you can go out and take the next action. And that's what I want to share with you guys today. I've shared with you a lot of really helpful information, but the next step is up to you. You do nothing with it, well, indirectly, you wasted your time watching this. And hey, if you all do nothing with it, you wasted my time giving you the information. That's almost a personal insult. So let's not even go there. But if you take action, and Karina said, if you get results, share them in the group. No, no, no. Those of you who take action will get results. But the if is because a lot of you, she knows, will not take action. So I am going to challenge you to not be the one person or the 10 people or the 100 people who don't take action, but I'm going to encourage you to be the 1, the 10, the 100, the 1,000. We want you all in that group who do. So take action, get the results, share it in the group, and that would be my thing I want to leave you with. Just do it.
I love it. Thank you, Kylee. And that's what I'm saying to everyone, just do it. Let's cause a revolution. Why not?
Exactly. It starts with one pebble, but you've got to throw it.
Exactly. Love that. And it's the butterfly effect. Thank you so much, Kylee. This was really, really informational, inspirational. I loved it. And yes, we'll chat soon. We'll see you in the group.
Sounds good. I'm here to help anytime.
Thank you, Kylee. And see you around. Bye.
Bye.